How often do you think somebody should, like, once they write the vision, how often do you think somebody should go back and review that? And why do you think that that's important to do?
Well, because you're not gonna, if your plan is no longer, or if your vision is no longer meaningful to you, then it's no longer gonna provide the motivation that's needed to remain disciplined, that's needed to remain consistent, right? And so, and that's, I think a lot of times that's, people are fearful of creating a vision because they think that it's set in stone, and it's not. I mean, it's, people's perspectives have a tendency to change almost on a daily basis. And so what you want to do is you just want to make sure that you're pursuing something that's worthwhile to you, something about which you are passionate. And if you ever lose that sense of passion, then change the vision. It's that simple. I mean, your vision can change daily if you wanted it to. That sounds kind of weird, and it would be kind of weird. I would kind of press you to, well, maybe you need to create something a little more meaningful at that
Right.
point. And that's, I think a lot of times that's, people are fearful of creating a vision because they think that it's set in stone, and it's not. I mean, it's, people's perspectives have a tendency to change almost on a daily basis. And so what you want to do is you just want to make sure that you're pursuing something that's worthwhile to you, something about which you are passionate. And if you ever lose that sense of passion, then change the vision. It's that simple. I mean, your vision can change daily if you wanted it to. That sounds kind of weird, and it would be kind of weird. I would kind of press you to, well, maybe you need to create something a little more meaningful at that
Right.
point.
I want to share a story with
But
you. So
but
I had
but
one.
but here's, let me get this out too. Something that I think most people have to understand is that creating a worthwhile vision is not something that you're just going to sit down and roll out in 30 minutes, right? It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of um, introspective.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
there's definitely a lot of emotion that comes with that
there's
process
a
for sure.
spiritual component. There's a sense of
Yep.
meditation to it. I mean, you have to kind of sequester yourself and be willing to go through the process. And now look, can you, off the top of your head, if somebody goes, well, what do you want? Which is the question that drives vision, right? Well, what do you want? Can I just off the top of my head throw some things out that I want? Sure. How meaningful are they? I don't really know at that point. That's where the soul searching comes in, right?
Yeah.
It's when you get down, what you want to do, or who you want to be, or what you want to know, or what you want to have. When you get those things out, then you have to go back through and you go, here's the key question: why? Right? Why is that important? Because if it's not important to you, if it's not something about which you can become passionate, then you need to move on from it.
Absolutely. Well, I want to share a story with you. So one of the agents here in the office, we went through the vision, and this was several months ago. Well, she had walked in one day for one of our conversations, and she just said, "I am just off. Like, I don't feel good. I lack motivation." And I said, "Well, when's the last time that you took a peek at your vision?" And she's like, "Well, I haven't for a while." I said, "Why don't you go back and take a peek at it?" So she went back and she did something absolutely, I thought, was incredible. She took two colors of highlighters. One color was green of her vision, where she was on track, where she felt that she was doing the activities, had the disciplines, where she was on track. The other color was a pink, where she went and highlighted the things that she wasn't on track. And she looked at that paper and came to the realization when she brought it to me. She goes, "I want to show you my paper. A majority of it was red." And I said, "Did you get some clarity in looking at that?" The next step would be, ask yourself, the stuff that's red, is it still relevant to you? And she's like, "It is." But it made me realize I'm off and I feel awful because I'm not operating in alignment with my vision. So she came to her own understanding just by taking that highlighter, because she could visually see on it. she was out of whack because she wasn't in alignment with her vision. So
Yeah.
I definitely wanted to share that with you because I thought, what a creative way to really see that this is why I'm lacking motivation, because we hear that all the time. And so I'm assuming you hear it too, people lacking motivation.
Well, you hear, and that's a key word, right, is lost. And what we know is that people without a vision are lost. And here's what we know about lost people is they look, right? And so what does that mean? What are they looking for? They're looking for distractions. They tend to look for external things that they think will, quote, fix them. And then when they make a change or a switch toward that external thing, they find that that's not, I'm still lost. There's still something there. And it's typically the reason you feel lost and are thus looking is something to do with you internally. And so what you have to do is that's where the soul searching comes into play, right? You have to go, okay, what is it I'm attempting to accomplish? Because until I first define that, I can't identify an environment that's most conducive or best supportive of what it is I'm attempting to accomplish.
Right. It's the one statement you always say, you're like, you take you with you no matter where you
Wherever
go.
you are, there you are.
Um,
Right?
right,
Wherever you
exactly.
go, there you are.
Well, and two, you think what we're being sold to on a consistent basis, especially when you look at real estate. Like I've never felt that you're constantly being sold to, whether it's coaching, whether it's CRM, whether it's just from a recruiting standpoint, people wanting the numbers. And so they talk about new things, new environments. And I know we had this conversation a couple of weeks ago where it was like newness is fun, and it appears as though this is the answer. Same thing with the diet fad. Why do you think that that kind of disrupts agents, businesses, and things like that, always responding to the new?
Well, because I think they're always looking for the next best thing, right? It can't be anything inside of me. It can't be anything I'm doing or not doing. It's got to be something external. Well, there's always people dangling something in front of you that says, here's the missing link, here's the key ingredient. And if you're not rooted in something, if you're not striving to intentionally accomplish something that's meaningful, then you'll chase everything that comes around the corner. And what you find is that that leads to nothing but frustration and exhaustion is what that leads to.
Right. Well, and then next, like where's the next good deal? Where's the next?
There's a lot of
As
people that make a lot of money selling to real estate agents because most
that's
real estate agents come across as lost. And it's, oh, you're
absolutely.
lost. Well, here's the way. Here's the
Mhm.
way. Come buy this. Here's the way. Oh, and by the way, it's easy and convenient. There's the two
Right.
key words that attract most real estate agents.
Well, it's the path of least resistance in their mind going, oh, you mean I don't have to, put in the work, or this is super easy, which takes me to the
Well, here's
pathway of
a tip for you,
mastery.
right? Here's what real estate agents have to understand is that people have lived before you, right?
Mhm.
There is no easy, convenient way, right?
Right.
And so what you have to do is you have to be willing to put forth the time, energy, and effort that's required to master the skill set that's necessary to be highly proficient, as a real estate agent.
How
And if
does
you're
one do
unwilling
that?
to do that, I would say get out and or stay out of the business because it's a hard way to make an easy living. I'll tell you that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So how do you think an agent does that? Becomes intentional in their business, focuses on, their business plan, and attends enters into a career development plan to not just gain the knowledge, but also act in a way that they are behaving in a way of what they've learned, and then take it a step further to be more of the instructional mastery. Why is it you think most agents stay in just the conceptual?
Yeah, I don't even know that most agents stay in conceptual or move toward conceptual mastery. I think most agents are what I would consider either ignorance-based or welfare-based people, right? They're not mastery-based people. Um, I mean, being mastery-based starts with being learning-based. And I think that maybe a lot of agents in the beginning of their career come across as learning based out of necessity, just because I don't know what to do. Just show me what to do, or tell me what to do, or teach me what to do. And even then, they're looking for what's the smallest amount of learning I can get away with and not get sued, you know.